Howdy Droogs, how you doing? Well, welcome to my review of the Zero Tolerance 302 Cowdy Brown knife. It's a monster. Take a look up there, it is a monster. Okay. I should say I got this knife on eBay. I'd seen Nothing Fancy's reviewing the knife, and I thought it was kind of cool. Kind of survivalist oriented, you know, kind of military oriented, kind of self-defense oriented actually. But I really wasn't going to buy one. You know, it wasn't my intention to buy one of these knives. But I kind of got interested, you know, in looking at buying them. And I started looking for them on eBay, and I had a search going that would tell me if there was one for sale every day, and that's always bad news when you're trying to not spend money. And one day one came on in the Cowdy Brown, which I thought was especially cool, by the way, and it really is cool. Cowdy Brown is really a nice color. They're not making this anymore, by the way. This is a discontinued knife, I guess. They don't make it in Cowdy Brown anymore. But it ended way late at night or some darn thing, and I'm a night owl, so I was up, which happens a lot with a lot of my eBay purchases. And what happened was I ended up getting it for like $158, and I just couldn't pass it for that kind of money, you know. I just said, you know, for that kind of money, I'm going to buy it. Actually, it was like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. It was actually morning, it was like 5 in the morning, but for me, that's way late at night. And I just couldn't resist buying it. You know, I didn't need to buy it. And this was a couple of years ago, just so you know. It's not recently. I think with the way eBay is going right now, you couldn't get one for that price. To be honest with you, it's possible, I guess, but it's unlikely because eBay is nuts. eBay and their policies have made the price of things a lot more, in my opinion. Anyway, but here we go. We'll review it for you. I'm not the master reviewer of things, but here we go. Okay. Oops. It features the I think it's Canon Speed Safe. Assisted opening design, which is nice. Also, one reason I got this knife is because of this knife right here. I already had one of these, recently bought one of these. I just thought it was the coolest thing since sliced bread. This is my first assisted opening knife here, and I thought that was just so cool. It was ridiculous, you know. I just thought it was like having a switchblade without having a button, which I thought was really kind of a neat deal. And that's why when I saw this, I thought, wow, this is the same thing, only in a bigger size. It kind of is, except that it's not as easy to open. It's not bad, but whereas this is very comfortable and my finger fits right on it, you know, this is kind of painful for me for some reason. This button here is not as good. I wish that Kershaw had put this kind of button on this knife. See that there? See this little button here? Rather than this kind of a button here, which I find comfortable. Plus it comes a little bit close to the inside here, so it's hard to get to. It can be done, you know, but it's not something I'd want to. I don't think of it as a tactical use, because this knife here you could have in your pocket, you know, with your hand on it. If someone tried mugging you, you could pull it out and have it out in a second. This one here, I don't think I'd want to do that. But it does have the other opener on the other side, and that's fast too. But to be honest with you, tactically again, I'd rather not be putting the knife in this position to open a knife and then try to switch it back, you know, to use it for self-defense. I'd rather be like this, have my hand on the knife pretty much where it's going to be, and I can do one little flip. But this seems to me to be a bit more effective for self-defense. You know, I could even potentially do this and go right in if someone were trying to hurt me, you know. Whereas this one here, you know, I don't know if I were being actually attacked, and I have been attacked, as you know. If you've probably seen somebody, remember, you don't know, maybe I haven't done that video yet, but I was attacked a few years ago, and a guy tried to kill me, and you know, I think about that situation. And those situations, you know, even getting a knife out is going to be hard, but getting a knife open can even be hard yet. And I think if I were being attacked with all the adrenaline rushing through my system and all that stuff going on, I don't think I'd be too able, really, frankly, to get this out. I think my muscles would be going crazy, and it'd be hard to get out. Maybe this could be done, but anyway, I don't like this, because then you like this, and you got to go like this, and it's just a total different orientation. Where this here isn't so bad. Anyway, just my opinion. But anyway, let's talk about this knife. S30V blade, wonderful steel, love it, absolutely love it. At the time, I think it was kind of rare on knives to have S30V blades, and that made a big attraction for me too, because this is my first S30V blade, and I wanted to have one. It says on the blade here, 0302, patented United States. This is a knife that was made in collaboration, I guess, with Strider. It's very reminiscent of a Strider knife for you guys who love Striders out there. Got the little, you know, tiger stripe pattern on there, which I like too. This random looks like a shark to me, you know, tiger stripe shark pattern you see on a shark. It's very cool. G10 Cowdy Brown handles on this side, titanium on this side, and it's a frame lock, which is also a new thing for me, or was a new thing for me. Well, it still is actually. I've had the liner locks, you know, but this frame lock is similar to a liner lock, but it's a frame lock. Part of the frame itself comes down there. Got the little thing, looks to me like the end of a bullet, which I don't know if it's supposed to look like that, but it does to me, which keeps the lock retention thing here, spring, from going too far, so you don't break it off accidentally when you're opening it. It is a heavy knife, 8 ounces. You know, that's twice the weight of a Spyderco military. It's a monster. It's a beast. You know, I mean, any knife put together with bolts, for heaven's sakes, you know, you can guess it's a beast. It feels good in the hand. I just don't know, honestly, if I want to carry it all the time. I never have carried this knife. I own it, but I've never carried it. You know, it's got some great features though. You know, it's kind of a see-through design here. A little piece of material back here. I'm not sure what that is. Might be aluminum. Might be some of the plastic. I'm not sure as I tell, but. This is nice because if you ever get this knife dirty, you know, if you're in combat or in a survival situation, you're crawling through muck and you got your knife full of a bunch of muck, you could kind of blow that out and rinse it out. The knife would probably keep working. And that's the basic intention of this knife, as I see it, is a combat knife, a survival knife, something which will just keep going and going and going. Though I might not carry it as an everyday carry, I might throw it in my bug out bag. You never know. You know, it's a you know. It might work well for that, just because I think you could beat the living daylights out of this knife and get it awfully dirty and keep going. It's kind of like an AK-47, you know. It's not pretty, but though it does have a certain beauty to it, but it will do that. My only concern is the weight, really. It does have a nice belly to it, though. It is very sharp. It is hair shaving sharp. Has a nice belly. If you were out in a survival situation, that's all you had, I'm sure you could skin animals out with it and do all those kind of fun things. Let's talk about the blade length. Blade length says 3.75 on their website, but that's probably measured from here, kind of from here. Yeah, that's 3 3/4. If you measure it from actually here, you get about 3 1/2. And what I call usable blade length is almost a little over 3 1/4. Because if you had to actually use this for self-defense, this knife, you know, it's only going to go in about 3 1/2 inches because it's going to be stopped that far, which is okay. For self-defense, I'm kind of a believer that 4 inches is a minimum, pretty much. I like a longer blade for self-defense if I can get it. But in a pinch, again, like a lot of things, you know, it's all a matter of compromise. You know, you always can't have a 4 1/2 inch, 4-inch blade or longer. You know, so in a pinch, I'm sure it'd work, especially if you put it, you know, in the right area. I'm sure it'd do the job. It's a really wonderful knife. Even though I don't use it for anything, honestly. I haven't sold it and probably won't. I could probably make money on it, but I don't really want to. I just, not that I couldn't use the money, but you know, it is a wonderful knife. It is very cool. It feels really good in the hand. It has some really nice jimping back here. It's got some jimping back there. You know, and my preferred grip in a knife is like this. Grip a knife like this for self-defense anyway, and for other tasks as well. And boy, your thumb really locks into that jimping very well. It's really good, high-power jimping. That's some high-power, serious jimping there, my friends. That's no fooling around, that jimping. That's like, you know, high-power stuff. So for my preferred grip, that is really very nice. This little bit of business here, we're going to keep your hand from running onto the blade if you actually have to use it for self-defense. Turn it around, do the old Montana flip. You know, let's widen out a little bit here. Again, you know, this little jimmy back here, fantastic thumb placement. If you need to stab with this, or if you need to stroke, you know, backslash, you know, slice with it, you know, in self-defense, it'd be fantastic. You know, absolutely fantastic. And again, the jimping here locks into your hand down here. It doesn't hurt. It's just there. You can feel it. It really locks into your flesh a little bit without hurting you or really being painful. But it works very nicely. And then again, the Ken Onion, you know, speed safe as they call it, works very well. It doesn't take much pressure on this knife to pop it out this way. If you were doing something, climbing or God knows what, and you need to pull your knife out in an emergency, you can do it one-handed very easily. Again, don't like this button here. I think that button is just a bit too strict. I don't know what even they call it. It hurts, actually. It hurts my thumb. It actually hurts my thumb to do that on there. So, and you can't really get it in from this side. You've really got to go in here and, you know, kind of do that, which would work again. But fortunately, they put a little knob or whatever it is in the back here, and away you go. You can do that as well. And it doesn't take much. And one thing about this knife I really like is it comes out really easily. I've got a Benchmade Cyclone. It's packed away. But it has the same kind of thing that works well, but it doesn't work well this way. With this knife, if it just barely gets pushed out, it will open the rest of the way on its own, which is very nice. It's got a good strong spring in there. Whole thing's built tank tough. What does it say? Titanium, G10. You know, it's just built tank tough, and it really is a hell of a knife. I should carry this really. It's a little heavy. It won't be bad though once in my pocket. Once it's in my pocket, you know, with the, you know, it probably won't be too bad. In the bottom of my pocket, it's heavy. It's going to pound around in my pocket, but you know, with a pocket clip on it, won't be too bad. And by the way, this clip attaches here, 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 or here. They're still making this knife, I believe, in green and in black. I like the cavity round personally. I like, and they also make a cheaper, I should say less expensive version, which has G10, I think, but it's just kind of a flat G10. It's not the sculptured G10. If you can look at that little sculptured G10, that really is nice. All in all, it's a beautiful knife. I don't use it like I say really, but I don't use it for two reasons. The first one, because it is fairly heavy. I could use this for an everyday carry, you know. But as a self-defense on a knife, like I say, I think I prefer to have something which was a little bit longer. A little longer blade, like a 4-inch blade for self-defense, and that's what I EDC for anyway. On the other hand, you know, I don't really want to kind of give this knife pocket wear, you know. It's such a nice knife. I don't want to give it some pocket wear. I kind of don't want to do that. I want to have it, you know, keep it new. It's such a beautiful knife. So, should you buy one, you know? I don't know. If you want a really heavy-duty knife, you could go through a war that's fairly heavy, you don't mind 8 ounces, you know, might be an idea. You know, and lastly, is it sexy? Yes. Yes, boys and girls, that is a sexy knife. That is a very sexy knife. A very cool knife. Look at the blade on that, by the way. Look at the way the blade's kind of sculptured. It's kind of cut in down here like that on top. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but it just really, the blade looks like a shark or something. And then you got this little fin down here, and a little thing up here. It has a look of a shark, you know. Do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, you know, it kind of looks like a shark, by God, it really does. And I don't have any use for it, like I say, if I carried a knife for survival, it's probably going to be my Spyderco military. I'm going to have a fixed blade knife anyway for prying things, if I need to pry things with, like my Randler or something. So I honestly have a need for this. I don't know. Can't sell it, got to keep it. It's just that beautiful knife. One of those things, you know. You can't get rid of something that's that cool, you just can't do it, you know. I guess if I get too poor, I might have to sell it. I don't know, but probably won't. Don't write me and ask me to sell it to you, because I'm not going to do that. If I sell it, it would be on Gunbroker. I refuse to deal with eBay anymore, pretty much for anything. Well, there you go. That's the knife. Beautiful thing, and they still sell other versions of this. And like I say, it's a heavy beast. I don't know if the other versions are more lightweight. Let's see here. I'm going to go on the web here and see. I've got a web page up here about this. Let's see if there's a cheaper version, speed safe. Cheaper version of speed safe is about 175. I mean, about 7.75 ounces. So it's not really, you know, any better. But anyway, there you go. That's it, guys and gals. If there's any gals out there watching knife reviews, hope you enjoyed the review. It's kind of hectic. I'm kind of just going over things. And by the way, it comes with a nice box. Ta-da! Who cares? I don't use the box. I use the box stored, and that's about it. Alright, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed the review. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. There'll be other knife reviews and other things in this channel you might be interested in. I would appreciate it. Alright, guys. We will talk at you later.